Tony from Thinking Crypto. Great interview with attorney Fred Rispoli. They really break down the latest ruling, all of its implications. Really, really fascinating. I suggest you watch it. I'll link it down below just in case you haven't seen it. But he also goes over the likelihood that this thing gets appealed. You know my opinion on this. I don't think an appeal is going to do a whole lot, but we would rather go through a full-on bull run without any extra risk looming over our heads. We'll have to sit back, see how this plays out over the next 60 days. I don't think it's doom or gloom either way, but it sure would be nice just to put a nail in the coffin of the sucker and never have to think about it again. And I think we got a shot. We see Fox News analyst Eleanor Terrett. She reached out to the SEC. She got a comment, quite a long comment here. Maybe they are willing to accept this. They're pointing to that fine amount they got, $125 million. Now, not going to bother Ripple all that much. They'll write the check, be done with it. It's not going to crush them. It's not going to affect them at all, but it's not chump change. And while we are laughing at them because they wanted $2 billion and they only got $125 million, well, it depends on how you want to frame things, right? They're saying, well, it's 12x what Ripple thought was appropriate. Ripple asked for $10 million and they ended up paying $125. So, I mean, you can play that game either way. It just depends on how you want to frame things. But further, they point to the judge, the statement that, Ripple has shown a willingness to push the boundaries of the court summary judgment order, evidence in the likelihood it will eventually, if not already, cross the line. That might be vitally important because I'll tell you why. It's totally unclear what laws Ripple may be breaking here with on-demand liquidity. They're sending payments. These aren't investments of dollars. The person is literally buying the XRP and then sending a payment. There's no expectation of profit. Why I think the SEC will like this so much is because it is so vague. And they could probably twist and turn this ruling to however they like and go harass other people with it. At the end of the day, Ripple still had to pay a lot of money. Something they're doing here apparently might be crossing the lines. You don't know what it is. It just seems so ambiguous and vague that, the SEC might not want to kick this up the ladder. This might be exactly what they need and at least as good as they're going to get. We see, again, attorney Fred Rispoli saying the following: this language from both sides, Ripple, they don't seem like they want to appeal this thing, is exactly what you typically see from parties when they are content with the ruling and do not want to appeal. And I followed up with this. It really seems like both sides got enough here. Ripple got what they needed. XRP itself is not a security. It can trade on the secondary market. Heck, Ripple can sell it themselves on the secondary market with impunity. You can't get much better than that. They don't even have to worry about it. Risk is also high, I said, for either to appeal. What happens if Ripple loses that? They can't sell XRP even on the secondary market. They can't do anything with it. Or it's a security for everyone because we pull some wackadoo judge on the appeals circuit. Might go horribly wrong. Or if the SEC appeals it, huge risk, right? The appeals court might really look at the specifics of on-demand liquidity and give them totally clarity. Say, look, just what we're talking about. There's no investment contract because there's no investment. They buy the XRP, they send it for the exact amount they bought it for. They're just sending a payment. There's no investment there. It might get substantially worse for the SEC. That penalty may go way down. It's a lot of risk for both sides. And this is what I added on there. If everyone is being rational, I think this is about it. It's over. Everyone's not a rational actor. We know that. SEC is not rational. We don't know, but we'll find out here within 60 days. And I don't think it's the end of the world. It's similar to what we dealt with during the last bull run, where there just wasn't enough time to wrap all this up before the thing was over. And we got harmed in a big way. XRP's trading again. The SEC, they don't have enough time. They will not get this done, before the next bull run's over. We're able to cash in on some profits. I want this to go away totally. I don't want it hanging over our heads. But, if we have to deal with it, we will. No big deal. Raul Paul. I wish he wouldn't do this. He put out this post about Sui. Groundbreaking, ultra-fast, layer 1. If you remember, I just put out a report last week saying, what am I doing from now to the end of the year? I'm really focusing on blockchains, specifically ones that have an AI play. Near being one of the top ones, and Sui being number 2. This guy went ahead and pumped Sui with this little post there, 38% in a single day. I'm supposed to be buying some more crypto tomorrow. Do I bite the bullet? Buy some more Sui at this inflated price, or do I hope it probably comes back to earth? I hope. we'll see how that plays out. But again, remember, my top 3 coins that I'm looking at right now, and this will change over time, stuff like this as values change: Near, Sui, and Flare. And I like those 3 for the reason of they're great for DeFi, gaming, all your traditional stuff within blockchain, layer 1 smart contract blockchains. But all 3 of those have, substance when it comes to artificial intelligence. They're all gearing up to get into that sector, and I think it's going to be really hot in 2025. We'll see it play out. Let's talk about this a little bit. Brad Kine's just blocking everyone, including myself on Twitter. I assume it's because sometimes I come off as being negative about things within the XRP ecosystem. And trust me, I have a large amount of my crypto investment in XRP. I am not anti-Ripple at all. I like a lot of the stuff they're doing, but I'm always pro-XRP investor. Sometimes information comes to me, and like when I was trying to sound the alarm that there's some friction out there. There's some friction between developers, Ripple, the foundation. I've been kind of sounding that alarm for some time, and now it looks like we're heading towards a nasty divorce, where the foundation is splintering away. People running very important infrastructure like Ally Networks, they're shutting down their hub. I think 3 people run hubs. You need those. And it's Ripple, Wind, and Ally Networks. They're going away. How do you replace that? I mean, I'm sure we will. I'm not saying it's the end of the XRP ledger, but why would you want to? A lot of this stuff is really, I think it's just emotional, and both sides get to fighting. And it's not just all on the Ripple side. Like, I think when the Zahao network came out, if it would have been bi-directional, the community would have loved it. They would have been all over it because it's complementary. See, if you do something that maybe takes utility away or value away from our main investment in XRP, we might not like that so much. You might not be so welcomed. And I think they did that because there was this infighting back and forth. They said, well, you know what, we're going to do our own chain. We're going to have hooks. It's going to be better, and you're going to burn to mint, and people are going to, flow over to us. That's not going to be a winning strategy. But anyway, look, I've known Brad for a long time. No ill will. If he unblocks me, we'll just continue on like always. I respect everyone in the XRP community, but that's all I can think about. Maybe he sees me as a negative about either Ripple or XRP, and I assure you I'm not. Another example of this. This guy was going 24-hour crypto. I don't talk about other YouTubers a lot, but he put out this video where he's talking about, the INFTF. That's that new, or that rebranding of the foundation that I had discussed. That this is not just going to be just about XRP, but a lot of other stuff, and it's going to expand. This is a separation from XRP. This is them saying, you know what, forget XRP. We're moving on to something different. Probably Zahao, I don't know what, but that's what I think. And so you see the foundation, they are exiting. And that was backed up by Monica Long, who tells us, you know what, a new foundation is coming out. And there's going to be this new entity. We need that. We need decentralization. We need, third parties building and maintaining the ledger. It's important. And I think they'll get it done. Again, I sound this alarm because I hope that, we can find some solutions before we get to where we are right now. Because now we have to take a couple steps back and find new people and, redo things, and it just shouldn't need to. This all could have been avoided. And people like 24-hour crypto, maybe Brad Kimes don't understand. I'm not just making stuff up. I'm not just creating a ruckus. It's like when I put this little letter out to Monica Long and said, hey, I'm hearing things that, maybe there's a problem with the foundation. There's no maybe. Of course I know there is, or I wouldn't put this out and tag her. Lo and behold, what happens? David goes, oh, yeah, well, we're working on it. Monica Long, oh, well, now that you bring it up, we are rebranding things. Like, yeah, I know there's stuff going on in the background. And I know it's significant and it's important. And it's important to you, the XRP investor. And if people aren't telling you about this, how would you even know that a very important part of the infrastructure is splintering off and leaving us? And so that's why I'm pushing these buttons sometimes, to try to get more transparency for you, the investor, so you know everything that's going on. People reach out to me and send me stuff all the time, and I don't have the full story. Like, I knew something was going on with the foundation, and essentially it was changing or going away. I didn't know exactly, and then, Monica Long filled us in a little bit. Now we're more informed. David Schwartz gave us some information. Now we're a little more informed. And we know more today than we did before. We don't know everything we need to know. And as investors, we have rights to this information. And if we don't have clear information, then it might not be a great investment because you're kind of investing in the dark. I will always push for the XRP investor. That's what I care about. Don't care so much about Ripple or foundations or developers. I'm always pushing for us, not because I'm a nice guy, because I'm an XRP investor and I want all the information, the pertinent information. And by the way, in the future, legally, they're going to be required to give us this. In the future, they'll have to do quarterly reports. If there's a problem going on with the foundation, they're going to have to put that in there. I guarantee you. It's coming, and it's coming quick. It's not required now. And you know what? I had some fairly negative videos up about Ripple. And Monica Long came out with this post and said, you know what? We're coming out with a new organization, and it's independent, and it's different from this INFTF. I said, you know what? That gives me kind of what I need to know for now, at least. And I took those videos down because, again, I don't want to be overtly negative. So, if that's why Brad, blocked me or whatever, I've been into it with other YouTubers in the past. Usually we get by it and block each other, whatever. I have no ill will towards Brad or anyone else out there, and I'm definitely not anti-Ripple or XRP. I just call it like I see it, and I try to put the realest narrative out there that I can. And if I see trouble brewing, I'm going to let people know about it, even if I don't get as many views or whatever. This is my hobby. I don't have the talent of a Brad Kimes, a DAI, people that are really professionals at this. I just do this for fun. It's a hobby. I enjoy doing it. So it's okay if the heat comes with me. If that gets more information out to people, then I'm happy about that. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.